From my location, it is good afternoon to you and all the lovers of freedom. Good afternoon to all the Biafran people. And good afternoon to all the enemies of Biafra. So, good morning to you, depend your time and your location. And good evening, depends on your time and your location. I greet you from my location. And I greet my Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. I greet my President, Mazi Nnamdi Okukanu. I greet my Honorable Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. I greet all the Biafra military and all the Biafra commanders. I also greet all the senior comrades in social media. So, as I greet you and I welcome you this wonderful afternoon, please endeavor to welcome another person by liking and sharing this particular broadcast this afternoon, that we are calling on the attention of the whole world by those at the leaders of the world, of the countries like Britain, UK, US, Russia, France, China. These are 5 world powers that are controlling the UN Charter and all the articles. So that is why we put all their names and their flags, so for them to know that we want to send a direct message to them this afternoon without wasting time. And the message is not going to be too long, honestly. For them to hear the message, it's not going to be too long. We're going to make it a short message to them, for them to know why we are putting their names and their flag now that we are passing through hell. And now that people are dying more in Nigeria, and people are leaving their ancestral homes, and what needs to be done, and how they can stop people moving away from their ancestral home. That is why we are here to present to them the solution, the ultimate solution to all this that is going on in all the parts of that contraction, of that thing they call one Nigeria. That means death sentence to indigenous people who are Christians. And it also means that every indigenous person must leave his ancestral land to those Fulani jihadists that Britain handed over Nigeria to their hand. Those that they supported powerfully, giving them ammunition. And also, after the Britain has played a vital role in their own way to stop Biafra recognition in 1967 to 1970. That is what Britain did single-handedly, stopping some countries that want to give us recognition. So that is why Biafra becomes a first state in 1967 to 1970. If Britain did not play the role there was being played, we are not going to be here today seeing all these saboteurs and all these enemies around us. But because of one thing, Everything is happening. So we are here to call on Britain, to call on America. I see you, my senior comrade. Thanks so much for coming. So we are here to let the world know that all the criteria that they have asked us to meet under the Montevideo Convention and what it takes to be a member of the UN, that the Biafran government or the new country being declared seeking for recognition happen to be United States of Biafra, are here asking for what? Recognition. The recognition of Biafra will stop all the impunity that is going on in Nigeria. That is why we said we have bring this solution that will end all the impunity, end all the killings that we are seeing today. So, my people, as you come, please like and share the program so others may know that we just come alive right now, 6 minutes ago, that we converge on this line. So please endeavor to like and share, because you know that once you like the program, another person will see, the person will come saying, which is, that is the truth, why you need to just do this needful of liking, sharing. Do not just view the program, please like it. What we are doing here is for every human being to know. What we are doing here is to expose all the secrets being hid against us, that we are no longer giving anybody chance to tell me who I am. That time has gone. Now I am here to use my hand to tell my story or my history of who I am. That is the main thing that all of us must bear in mind as we are moving in, or as we are moving on this morning. So please, Triple M, I can see you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. So my people, the Biafran people, we need, let's let the world know that every criteria being asking from our hand to meet before they will give us recognition, that we have met all those criteria. We have overmet it. So the question now becomes, why is that Britain, UK, America, Russia, France, and all of them could not be able to tell Nigeria that this one has met the criteria for them to become a nation? We are recognizing them. Or the way Britain was being paid all of you before the 1967 to 1970 to stop recognizing Biafra, are they still paying all of you by now? Even AU from Africa, EU, all these organizations that are here today, that are living, that are existing. So are you telling us that you don't know our story? That you have never come across our story? Is the question. Like I said, we are going to play out today the criteria to become a statehood, to become a new state, or to become a state. We want to play it so the world will may know, as we are explaining the things, how we have met those criteria and how we are over met those criteria. So as our 1 year is drawing by, we need this recognition from what? From the United States of Biafra, for the world to give us recognition as the rightful and the legal and the legit government of the Biafran people, not the other way around. Not those that are run to people to interview them. To no, it doesn't. See, that notice me. We don't care about it, because we have come across to know that it's only declared country to the government that the other countries who are government will give recognition, not any group, not any fallback. That is one that you all must know. So that's why tonight I will tell you: do not panic, because if you panic, it wasn't the case. Please, it is very, very sacrosanct for us to understand what we are into, what is going on. Like I told you, We are not going to waste so much time. So the message will go through to them. The program is going to be very shortly. Then after that, what happens? Then we move on. We are going to start from when I said on my headline, tag all this country, that Biafra has met all the criteria. Get us or give us recognition that we deserve. Listen to this. So I want to first know the criteria. After that, then we'll go on.
The criteria for statehood under international law are widely accepted to be the four elements outlined in the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, 1933. These criteria are considered the minimum requirements for an entity to be recognized as a state and a subject of international law, regardless of whether it has been newly declared or long established. The four Montevideo criteria. For an entity to qualify as a state, it must possess the following qualifications. 1. A permanent population. There must be a settled community living in the territory. International law imposes no minimum number, and the population may even be nomadic, but it must be stable and attached to the territory. 2. A defined territory. The entity must have control over a specific geographic area. The borders do not need to be precisely delimited or undisputed, it only needs a consistent and identifiable core territory. 3. A government. There must be a political authority that exercises effective control over the defined territory and population. It should be capable of maintaining law and order, providing public services, and governing independently. International law does not prescribe a specific form of government, e.g., democratic, authoritarian. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states. This is the legal expression of the entity's independence and sovereignty. It means the state is not subject to the authority of any other state, and can conduct its own foreign relations, negotiate treaties, and engage with the international community. The role of recognition. The declaration of a new country is a political and factual act, but its ultimate legal status is viewed through two competing international law theories regarding recognition. Theory, principle, role of recognition, prevailing view, declaratory theory. Statehood is purely a matter of meeting the four factual criteria above. Recognition by other states is merely an acknowledgement, declaration, of an existing fact. Prevailing view, supported by the Montevideo Convention itself. Constitutive theory. An entity does not become a state in international law until it is recognized by other existing states. Recognition is a necessary act that creates, the state's legal personality, less favored today, but still influential in political practice. In modern practice, the declaratory theory is generally favored. However, recognition by a significant number of other states, especially major powers and international organizations like the UN, is critical for the new entity to fully exercise its rights, like entering treaties or obtaining sovereign immunities, and function effectively on the global stage. The video below explains the four criteria for statehood from the perspective of international law. International law states elements Montevideo Convention simplified. YouTube video views will be stored in your YouTube history, and your data will be stored and used by YouTube according to its terms of service. The criteria for statehood under international law are widely accepted to be the four elements outlined in the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, 1933. These criteria are considered the minimum requirements for an entity to be recognized as a state and a subject of international law, regardless of whether it has been newly declared or long established. The four Montevideo criteria. For an entity to qualify as a state, it must possess the following qualifications. 1. A permanent population. There must be a settled community living in the territory. International law imposes no minimum number, and the population may even be nomadic, but it must be stable and attached to the territory. 2. A defined territory. The entity must have control over a specific geographic area. The borders do not need to be precisely delimited or undisputed, it only needs a consistent and identifiable core territory. 3. A government. There must be a political authority that exercises effective control over the defined territory and population. It should be capable of maintaining law and order, providing public services, and governing independently. International law does not prescribe a specific form of government, e.g., democratic, authoritarian. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states. This is the legal expression of the entity's independence and sovereignty. It means the state is not subject to the authority of any other state, and can conduct its own foreign relations, negotiate treaties, and engage with the international community. The role of recognition. The declaration of a new country is a political and factual act, but its ultimate legal status is viewed through two competing international law theories regarding recognition. Theory, principle, role of recognition, prevailing view, declaratory theory. Statehood is purely a matter of meeting the four factual criteria above. Recognition by other states is merely an acknowledgement, declaration, of an existing fact. Prevailing view, supported by the Montevideo Convention itself. Constitutive theory, an entity does not become a state in international law until it is recognized by other existing states. Recognition is a necessary act that constitutes, creates, the state's legal personality, less favored today, but still influential in political practice. In modern practice, the declaratory theory is generally favored. However, recognition by a significant number of other states, especially major powers and international organizations like the UN, is critical for the new entity to fully exercise its rights, like entering treaties or obtaining sovereign immunities, and function effectively on the global stage. The video below explains the four criteria for statehood from the perspective of international law. International law states elements Montevideo Convention simplified. YouTube video views will be stored in your YouTube history, and your data will be stored and used by YouTube according to its terms of service.
Please, if it is your first time coming across my platform or our platform, this is Real Biafra TV, please like and share the program. Please, it's very important. We can only be only 1 hour. That is exactly the time I want to be here, because I want this message to go direct and very simple and without much time. That is how I'm going to do it. So I am calling on all the well-meaning Biafrans and the world to pay attention, and also please, like our brother has been asking, please like and share. We have 40 something people watching, but we have only 4 like. So please, we ask you to like and share the program. So once you like the program, then you will know that this program, you have listened to it. And if it is your first time coming, you will see a 3 dot in front of you at your right hand. That 3 dot is swords. Click on it, it will send you to like and share. Please, it is very important for you to do so, because this message cannot go viral if you did not like and share. So please endeavor to like and share the program as we continue this morning. You have had it, what it takes to be a new country, the criteria we have to follow. We call it templates. The template that we have to follow on it. These are the templates that we all needed to. After the declaration of a new country, with lacking of recognition, you have become an existing country already. This is how the law talk about it. So everything that are going to happen must happen under that declaration and under the template of the international global community, which that is the template that the United States of Biafra is playing right now. That is the template. So the criteria for statehood under the international law are widely accepted to be the former elements outlined in the Montevideo Convention of the Rights and Duties of a State in 1933. As you can see, from 1933. Now the question here is, this law, do they see Biafran people to implement this law about a new state or a new country? That is my question. Do those who are fighting against us, when they put this law in 1933, did they see Biafra there? Do they know that Biafra will come? It's a question, call for an answer. So, when you look at all that is going on right now in the midst of what we are doing, then, and you also ask of, how do you get recognition? How do you do this? Number one thing is that without official declaration, nobody recognizes you. Without presenting document of that declaration, proving that you are the one that made it, or you are the one representing the new country, nobody listens to you, because the group can only go to group. A state can only treat a state matters. So once we have flying up there, it simply means that the matter has removed from the local to the what? International. Are you following? So On this Montevideo Convention of 1933, there's things that meant for us to understand. That is why we bring out to play it out so we can also rub our mind together and get it right. So please, my people, endure with me as we move.
The criteria for statehood under international law are widely accepted to be the four elements outlined in the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, 1933. These criteria are considered the minimum requirements for an entity to be recognized as a state and a subject of international law, regardless of whether it has been newly declared or long established.
Do you hear this particular area? The criteria are considered in the maximum requirement for an entity to be recognized as a state and a subject of the international law, regardless of whatever it has been newly declared or long established. If you look at the other way around, Biafra is have overlong established. That is why I play you that all this that you are seeing that is coming out is a danger of long time agitation that we as the Biafran people has be able to do. And in all this agitation, we are falling apart every blessed day. Now, if what we are seeking to get recognition for under the international law is what? Is to recognize our declaration so we can have our home as a solution. So we are calling on the countries I tag here, America, UK, Nigeria, so even Nigeria, to know that there has been declared. There is nothing you do to Mass Simon neighbor. That is why we must facilitate things that we are doing so that nobody on this earth will stop us. The criteria are considered the maximum requirements for a country. For what? A country, not criteria to be a country, not criteria to be a group of people. I hope you're listening. This creates the minimum requirement for an entity to be recognized. What is this entity and who are this entity? The entity and those are the permanent population are the way it happens in Biafra, in old Anambra, conducting an election and people stand by and watch how it goes. And those that voted, we are happy that first time ever in life, they come to polling where they are voting. There was no army, there was no police, there was nothing like that. My people. So the establishment is what? Child. The establishment is very important. What are we establishing? Establishing our United States of Biafra as a new country. That after our declaration, that we have met all the criteria that need us to do what? To become a state. What are those criteria? Listen.
The four Montevideo criteria. For an entity to qualify as a state, it must possess the following qualifications. 1. A permanent population. There must be a settled community living in the territory. International law imposes no minimum number, and the population may even be nomadic, but it must be stable and attached to the territory. 2.
Number 1. For us to be a country is what we are discussing today. And also for us to get recognition is part of what we are doing today. Now they told us here, for an entity to qualify as a state, it must possess the following requirement, the following qualification. What are those qualifications for us to become a state after our declaration of United States of Biafra that are lacking recognition? We are dealing on what? On a state, how to become a state. The four Montevideo criteria. A permanent population. There must be a certain community living in that territory. We are number 1 right now. There must be a certain community living in that area. In Biafra land today, that's why I repeat it again. I want to know the area they're talking about. People, are they living in Biafra land is the question. People, are they living in Biafra land, in our territory? I ask a question, comment section. Can someone answer me? People today, are they living in Biafra land today? I'm asking a question. Please, I need an answer. I will continue. Biafran people, are they living in Biafra land, Biafra territory? Despite the land dispute and the land problem that we are facing in the hands of Nigeria. Yes, Ogona, thank you so much for coming. You said yes. Thank you so much. I like when people answer because it encouraged me to know that somebody are listening. So please like and share as you come. Very important. The Biafran people are living in their own territory. That is why the voters and documents of advocate, that is why our documents of declaration is very, very sacred and nobody should play with it. Are you getting it? Because what we are seeking for is what? To be a free country. Is it not true? Then for us to be this a free country, there is one or two things that we must do, and when those things comes, we are not going to shy away from them, but we must stand to do them and do the needful. So my people, let us know what we are for. A permanent population that's conducted election, that voted on the election day on November 4th under the United States of Biafra government is to make sure to prove how effective control that this government it is. It is important for you to know that. So when we continue on this, he said that people must be living there. Internal law imposed on minimum numbers, and the people, the population may even be modified, but it must be stable and attached to the territory. Today in Biafra land, we are stable. We are not fighting anybody to take his or her land, but rather we only said we will not leave what belongs to us to another person, whether bush or whether whatever it may be, that it is important to us. That is one of the things that we all must understand. Remember that this program is not going to be last. It's not going to be long. We are rushing it very fast. Once it's finished, we end. Because why are we doing this? We are doing this when I will come to tell the world. We are telling the world that this criteria of number one, a permanent population has been met by the Biafran people. That is why we make a declaration. Number two, to defend the territory must have control over specific geographical area. The border, sorry, I'm coming. 1 minute, there's a mistake somewhere. The entity must have control over a specific geographical area. Yes. Conducting election in one of the states means that the government is controlling that particular area. It's also proving that the government is also controlling the affairs of the Biafran. That is why they endorse election, and they also make it to know those that win and those that don't win. So not that we are just forming a story. There is people living there that have been dying from before the 1967 to 1970 until this date of 2025. A lot is going on. So let us try and understand what we are doing and where we are. On this defined territory, that is where you will find out why we have 40 states. With what? We have our 40 states. Under what? Under the divine territory. So, we all must adhere to things that are going to help our governments to get our official recognition. My people. Because nobody will do it for us except we, as a Biafran people, to do it on our own. And we must do that. I am pleading on you to stand by your government. I am pleading on you to let the world know that Biafra people has declared their independence on November 29, 2024, and we have met all the criteria that UN asks us to meet of this Montevideo Convention, of all the well-meaning countries in the world, please, recognition will end the impunity. Recognition will end the CPRC that America is fighting for us. Then we will fight ourselves. That's why I told the American to join NATO chairman to listen, forget the so-called Recogn. What important is that take the message, refuse that person that is around him. It doesn't matter, because when somebody have a YouTube page, he wants somebody to call on him and interview him, so it's a very good opportunity. I hope you are following. Now, listen.
A defined territory. The entity must have control over a specific geographic area. The borders do not need to be precisely delimited or undisputed. It only needs a consistent and identifiable core territory. 3.
Number 2 is where we are right now. Remember number 1. A permanent population, things that we need to get to the standard of the words of the recognition. That is what you can see right here that we are doing. There must be a certain community living in that territory. International law imposed on the number, and the population may even be notified, but it must be stable and attached to the territory. What are we saying here? They are telling us the things that we need to do to achieve recognition. Now, when you look at what's going on social media of the so-called Recogn, so-called Chiamaka and all of them, what they are doing, can it ever get us recognition? Answer is no. And recognition goes to only a country that make the official declaration of their new state. That is where it goes. And they are only the one to be what? To be recognized. I have given you an example of France. How it happens when they go. They look at what? The side that did not, the size of the thing that you may see is not up to what they even want us before we can get recognition. The size of Biafra living in that territory does not. They said even if it is minority that are living there, that's what I mean by the size of those that are living there. It happens that people are only living in Odua Anambra. If all people that are there are Biafra and they have made an official declaration seeking for recognition, there we get it. So as of now, that the Biafran people have a government that are working for us. So remember that they must have control over a specific geography. Having control in Anambra to conduct election means that the government is in control of one of the geography areas of the new country. So, in all that we are doing, the borders do not need to be physically controlled or conquering every other places. It only needs a constant and identifiable controlled territory. So our government is controlling the territory. That is why when they come for sit at home, people sit at home in Old Anambra, in every other places that I agree, because it's not by force. So in this particular defined territory, the territory of Biafra has been defined. That is why we are calling on all the world powers to grant us recognition. We are calling on the world to grant us what? Our total recognition, because with this and the Montevideo Convention, the Biafra people has met all the criteria that need us to be met. None of them is on the road. We have our permanent population. We have a defined territory. We have an effective government that are ready to enter into relation with every other country in the world, because country must speak to what? Country. A country must recognize a country. You will be a country before recognition. So let all that's meant to know try to understand that difference of what we are doing before and difference of what we are doing right now. It's very important for us all to know that. It is very important. Then, when they told you that, oh, we need to get our border 20%, 30%, 50%, it's not true. You don't need to get any they said the requirement of statehood, nothing concern it, recognition statehood, nothing concern it with what? With declaration. The recognition is on his own. Declaration is on his own. But all that works together. Now, how? The declaration of United States of Biafra leads for recognition of what? Biafra. And under that recognition, it is a country being piled and keep on together. So, let no one anymore deceive you about who to follow and who not to follow. There is things that are on the Montevideo Convention that was meant for good, and there is one that was not meant for good for us. So now governments are trying to handle both two at a time. The one that money we have handle, the man that we match we handle. All these things are what we are passing through. But we're letting America to know that Biafra has met a criteria to be a new nation. We want, UK, the father of the evil that genocide is going on all over Africa, to know that a time is coming that you may not stand what will come to you, because the mass killing that is going on is these indigenous people is the one they are buying every day, and they are killing them. So they cannot be able to be a family there anymore again. And they think it's okay like that. So when we are controlling this our territory, when we are controlling our territory, it simply means that this is our own nation. So now that it is our own nation, that is why we have to maintain the criteria that are going to grant us recognition very fast. Like I told you, no court will free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. For him to be freed lies in our fascination of getting recognition very fast. No matter how we are putting pressure on those that we have submitted our documents with, it is very important in what we are doing. It is what? Very important into what we are doing. The entity must have control of a specific geographical area. The border do not need to be physically delegitimized or undisputed. It is only needs a constant and identifiable controlled territory. What are they saying here? That no matter what happens, there is land dispute between us and Nigeria, and it does not stop us from getting our recognition so far we have identified ourselves. A government, number 3.
Government. There must be a political authority that exercises effective control over the defined territory and population. It should be capable of maintaining law and order, providing public services, and governing independently. International law does.
A government of the Biafran people. What happens there? There must be a political authority that's exercising effective control, which is United States of Biafra. Then, over the defined territory and population, it would be capable of maintaining law and order, providing public services, and giving identified international law does not process a specific form of government, e.g., the authority. There is one thing that here that we almost know. We are trying to let those corners you saw on my comment on my headline, for them to know Biafra has been declared, and we have met all these criteria. The fourth one is the one that we have overmet on it. They said number one, a permanent population. That is number one. Then number two, the divine territory. Then number three, a government. Number four, consequence of all. That simply means that in all these criteria, if they ask you, have Biafran people met all these criteria? I told them the answer is yes. We have overmet these criteria that the world are looking for. That is why it is very important right now for the world to, for America, for Russia, for France, for all of them who are the world power, to allow us to be by asking France to leave our country. Because when you say that people have made this criteria, and after they have made those criteria, and you are not responding to them, what does it mean? That's why I ask sometimes, these laws, these charters, is it for only a white man or for a black man? Because the way I see it, it sounds to be that the criteria is only for the white, not for a black man. But if it is, what we are passing today, we might not be able to pass it through. The things you ask us for a criteria for a statehood, for a new country to be, we have overseen all of them. Then what is holding you? My people, it's only when we understand it and we push it to them. We are pushing to let the world know, to tell Nigeria, that's why I put Nigeria flag there, let the world know that Nigeria is a country of genocide, that man called Tinubu, he is the masterminder of all the killings that is going on in Nigeria today. And it's so painful the way the Christians are dying. You saw that little boy, they have slaughtered the mother and the father, he carried his brother that is up to just barely 8 months. And what happened? How could they survive from there? He lost his father, he lost the mother in the hands of the Fulani jihadists. So, we must understand where we are and what we need to do right now. Now that we have effective government, now that we have a defined territory, now that we have a permanent population, UN, now that we have a permanent population, what next? So, for me, I simply understand I'm maintaining the law and the order of what? Of the USD, because they are the legit governments that we have. No other one. Any other places. Let us see how we can push the world to know that we have met all these criteria they want us to meet. That they are the one holding us. Seriously. So far they're holding us. We continue pushing. I said what? They are holding us, but we will continue pushing. Without relenting at all. Because everything that we are doing it under for them to give us recognition. We are not sparing anything, and we are only maintain those criteria, which is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. The world, the white man, the Europe, what is our offense? The offense is that you never want Biafra to become a country, because you know that we will stop you from taking our oil illegally, no matter what it takes. You know that one for sure. So, we must continue.
Not prescribe a specific form of government, e.g., democratic, authoritarian. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states. This is the legal expression of the...
One thing that you have to bear into your mind is that this is a capacity to enter into relation or sign agreement with what? Other states, not other group. And you must present the original document of the declaration. So, let everyone know that the criteria by entering into the relation E with other states, this is the legal expression This is what the legal expression of the enemy. So when all these legals are going on, then the world refuses to recognize us. What are the options they are giving us to do, and what they want us to do? Is it for us to go into armed conflict? Because they told us again that they love a country to get their independence through peaceful way and get their recognition. Now we are clocking 1 year of our declaration. The world have seen how we present our government and how they are handling the affairs of Biafran people, that nobody is crying from Biafran side. So we must continue what we are doing until they hear us. We are not going to surrender. We must continue into what we are doing. Now, let's continue. So, providing public service and the governors independently, international law does not probe a specific for a government. That's the kind of government that is going to come. They said, no matter the government to come, once it has made official declaration that that government is the real one, that people, as a new state, that are going to get recognition for the new country. Then in this new country, they told us that the fourth criteria is that we must have a government that is effective government that is able to enter into relations, sign agreements with other countries. It's not a state. Is it a group of people? There's one thing I want you to know. When Thomas, you heard him saying, I am fighting for a state. I am fighting for a new country. He is not fighting for IPOB to continue to be where they are. Rather, he was fighting for what? He told us that I am fighting for a country. Listen to Thomas, what he's fighting for. For you who claim IPOB, one Nigeria. Please, 1 minute, my people. I want to get it because I like No, not here. Sorry, my people. Not on this line. Where is this line, man? Or this one? Oh, God. Please, one, do not be angry with me. Just give me time. Let me get something out because we need to show the world something. When you look at everything that is happening today, and you'll be asking the questions, the criteria. Now that we have beat up the criteria, what next is the question. And as I'm looking for that picture, I want to know one thing. Listen to what Mazen Ankani is fighting for. He is not fighting for any registered group. Daughters of Master Simon are fighting for a registered group that cannot do him anything.
It's a promise and a pledge we're making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave.
No,
one of the two must happen.
You can never.
It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. It's a promise and a pledge we're making to them. They must.
Do you hear it? It's a pledge. What to come? Biafra. Listen to this again.
When I was in prison, was IPOB not moving ahead? But I was in prison. IPOB was opening new families all over the world. Was it not moving ahead? I myself can't even stop IPOB. I can't. But when I was in prison, was IPOB not moving ahead?
Why do I play this voice to you? For you to know that despite all this ability that's been arrested, that we have to continue in what we are doing. We must continue. Nobody stop IPOB today. That is how nobody will stop us for us to get what? Our international recognition. We are not going to vote for Mazen Nandekama Simon Eba to come outside. Because
did I commit any crime?
Listen to this.
Did I commit any crime? The answer is no. I committed no crime. I am fighting for the freedom of my people as contained in the constitution of the so-called Nigeria. Did I commit any crime?
No.
Did I commit any crime? The answer is no. I committed no crime. I am fighting for the freedom of my people as contained in the constitution of the so-called Nigeria. Did I commit?
That's our community. That's our community. That's our community.
I have watched interviews. Now
You know why? You remember where we are? Because
so yesterday,
I will tell you why I'm bringing on this video.
13th of November
Today is 14th.
2025. Bandits attacked 4 places inside Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto State. They attacked 4 places last night. 4. This attack happened around 11. 11, 10, 10:45, and 11. 4 places were attacked last night. The places that were attacked last night are Yabulutu, Gadget, Alkalawa, and Gerim Mageji. These are the 4 places that were attacked last night, yesterday, being the 13th of November 2025. In Yabulutu, they unalived 4 persons, they kidnapped 5, 2 persons were injured. In Alkalawa, they unalived 1 person, kidnapped 8, 3 persons were injured. In Gadget, they unalived 3 persons, kidnapped 2, 1 person injured. In Mageji, Gerim Mageji, they unalived 4 persons, they kidnapped 10 persons, 10, and 4 injured. This one happened yesterday. Yesterday here for Sokoto State. Inside one local government, Sabon Birni local government area of so that is where all this thing happened. They will not tell you. The media will not show you this. They will not tell you all these things. Trust me. They will not tell you. But I'm here to be telling you all these things. They will be hiding it from you, but I will be bringing it out. Instead of showing one thing or the other, forgetting the fact that people are losing their lives here in the north. Every day by day, we are being kidnapped, we are being kidnapped, we are being killed, we are being injured, and you can't see it in the mainstream media. But don't worry, come here, come to this page, come to the English Al Hadi page, where we don't spread fake news. Everything I tell you here is fact. For this attack that happened yesterday, I will get the videos of this attack, the images, then I will send it straight to my Telegram. So if you are not following my Telegram, please do well to follow. The link, I will leave it in my comment section here. On Facebook, the link is in my comment section. If you are Instagram, the link is on my bio.
We have got message I want to send to let the world know what is going on. And the offense of Mazen Nandekan was to save these people that are dying today. This is the offense that Mazen Nandekan committed. When he was asking you, did I commit any offense? He did not. And on this, they are letting the world to know that Biafra, that Mazen Nandekan's fighting has been declared, that nobody will stop it. That the real Biafran people have stood up and make a declaration of a new country called United States of Biafra. Then, on this, we have met all the criteria.
Did I commit any crime?
No.
The answer is no. I committed no crime. I am fighting for the freedom of my people as
Freedom of
contained
his people.
in the
And as a content for the concern of the so-called
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Did I commit any crime? Did I commit any crime? The answer is no. I committed no crime. I am fighting for the freedom of my people as contained in the constitution of the so-called Nigeria. Did I commit any crime? Did I commit any crime? The answer is no. I committed no crime.
And what he was fighting is what is in the concern of Nigeria. But today, Nigeria want to jail him sentence him with what is not in their constitution to implement another Sharia full law that will unalive people, that they will use to destroy people. This is what we are passing through. And this is what we are seeing through today. So, Biafran people, as we all are here, letting the world to know the crime of the Mazen and the Kano and the crime of the Biafran people, that only fighting for Biafra is what we are looking for. And the criteria you said after our declaration that we should go on with, that with this criteria, that we have become a fully country, we have met all those 4 important criteria under all section of you. You mentioned this criteria of there a permanent population. Now a defined territory. Like when we know that our territory is comprised of 40 states, we're going to have effective government under the new country that was declared, which we have, leading by our deputy prime minister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Sorry, this is what you asked us to do, and we have all achieved all these things. They are effective. Looking for recognition. The only thing that remains is this recognition, and you to equip us to defend our land, our territory is under dispute in the hands of Nigeria. That is what we are. So that's why we are tagging on all of you to the world powers to know that Biafran people has met their official declaration of their new country. And despite that, we have met all the criteria that need to meet for us to become a new country. You said it doesn't matter whether the population is minority, but once it's under self-defense that they have met those criteria, that they must carry on and move on. They must become a state. That is why we are asking you, now that we have met this criteria, what is stopping you from organizing Biafra as a country? What do is it? This criteria, does it work only for white man? Is it for every human being in life? Is it for everybody? Because you told us that on this criteria under the UN Charter, that once every individual met those criteria, that they are a country, and what happens? That they are going to be a member of the UN. Give us the form, the application form to fill to become a member of the UN. For how long are we going to wait? You are the one that endorsed all these criteria. We are not the one, rather you. Now that you have done the criteria, what else are you still waiting that makes you that you are not giving us recognition? We are telling you the world to know, letting America to know, Russia that don't believe in injustice, believe in justice. We are calling on you. The way you have recognized Afghanistan, what is stopping Russia to recognize the Biafran people? What is stopping Russia to recognize Afghanistan? It takes you 5 years to recognize Afghanistan. Is it going to take you 5 years to recognize us that we are not into armed struggle? That we did not use armed struggle to declare our country, rather we declare it under peaceful movement of the people. What is that thing that is holding you to recognize us? That you want them to buy all of us before you can be able to recognize Biafran people. Biafra is the solution of all this that is going on in Nigeria, of all the kidnapping, all the killing, because you are very far to where the problem is, but we are in middle of this problem, and the recognition that we have accepted give you with all our full hearts that once recognize us and the people, that we are going to chase those that are causing the killing of the indigenous people away. Any Nigerian military you see is a member of the Boko Haram, because they are the ones sponsoring it. America said we are going to invade those areas that this killing, these Boko Harams are, and chase them away. They start attacking them to not to come. It simply means, do you hear when Nigerian army comes out to call America to come and join them to do it? All are together. They are one people. They are what? They are one people that are doing this. They are what? One people. That is why Nigeria Army cannot come out and say, we have been trying to do this, our government is stopping us. If Recogn join us, we want to live with them to go and chase them away. But they refuse because they know their plan. The Boko Haram are working for them. The money they are making from kidnapping, all of them are sharing it together. Because no army in Nigeria, they are paying well. No police is being paid well. The military are not paying well. The police are not paying well. So they complain with them, give them the job to do. Because it has been long they captured a group of army or police being kidnapping people. Today, the Boko Haram, the Fulani jihadists are the one doing it in the closest of where they are. Is it not true? Today, the police and the army in 3 kilometers away from where they are, the kidnapping will happen. And after the people move, they will come. As if it's not their plan with them. It is a pure plan. It is a well-castrated plan. That's the way British created Nigeria. The same way that the military have endorsed and the police using this Fulani jihad to kidnap people and buy them. So, when we said that that in the middle of this, that have saw this from 1967 to this day, are telling you that that's one thing that you refuse to try. It is the solution to all this. That's one thing that the world refused to sign is the problem. That is why the Christians are dying. Because the recognition of Biafra will set every indigenous people free in that thing called One Nigeria. That means death sentence to every indigenous person. Are you following? Tell me, is it not true of what we are passing and what is going on? Is it not the right thing that is going on, what I'm saying? The only one thing that's different thing that the world refused to sign is what is causing the problem. Because Biafra freedom will free Oduduwa nation. Biafra freedom will free Arewa. That thing that you refuse to do, the way all of you are on your own countries, that you don't want us to be that way, that is the problem. We want to live like the way things are going in India. The content that was denied are the problem. Why are you afraid of this 3 countries that are supposed to merge from before the amalgamation? Without amalgamation of 1914, nobody is in Nigeria. Without amalgamation of 1914, nobody is in Nigeria. Inside the amalgamation, none of you interests put in that amalgamation. They only put the interest of the business, the gain they want to achieve from what they plan to do. So, my people, let us stand up right now. Join United States of Biafra that was declared on November 29, 2024. To do what? To make a way to save the lives of the Christians that are still in Nigeria. To set every black race free. Biafra was meant to lead every black race. And because of this was denied, that is why things are not going the way it's supposed to be. My people, it's very important that you understand what is going on. The plan, the secret of the British with French jihadists is been failing. They on their own said that they try to manage this, but it's unmanageable. Why are they still managing it? Because of our own God's given mineral resources that God give to us. That is why they are doing all this impunity that I've seen today. That is why people are dying. That is why they don't care. Because they want mineral resources. That is all. Gabriel, good morning from here. Officer AJ, good morning from here. I can see you. And those that are ruling Nigeria today, in some, listen to this. Let's not be like, because I'm looking for Biafra, that I'm the one saying it. Here is from another source.
The man who said in 1997 that he didn't believe in one Nigeria is the president of the Nigeria today. And the man who said, I don't want to become Nigeria anymore, I want to go. Please, what is different between two of them? The man who said in 1997 that he didn't believe in one Nigeria is the president of the Nigeria today. And the man who said, I don't want to become Nigeria anymore, I want to go. Please, what is different between two of them? The man who said in 1997 that he didn't believe in one Nigeria is the president of the Nigeria today. And the man who said, I don't want to become Nigeria anymore, I want to go. Please, what is different between two of them?
Do you hear it? Can you tell me the difference of these two things? In 1997, Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, I don't believe in one Nigeria. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the president of United States of Biafra, who said, I don't want to be a Nigerian, is in the prison. And the one who put it in newspaper that in 1997, I don't believe in one Nigeria. And the further go on and said that Nigeria is not a country, like Nigeria is a scam. If you read that news headline or that newspaper in 1997 very well, you will see all the things that Tinubu said. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is today fighting for. And under his watch, he wants him to be jailed. He wants him to be buried. He wants him to take away of his life. But it's not going to happen. It's not. So, we are giving the world all this for them to know that the Biafran people is the solution to all the problems that the world are facing today. This only Biafra is the solution to all that is going on. Our mothers are being kidnapped. They are being raped by the Fulani. Christians and Muslims, everyone is suffering, but moreover, the Hausas who are Muslim, they are also dying the same way the Christians are dying. Let me show you a video so you may see. They are being kidnapped. These are women throughout. Women. Look at it. This is where somebody will come and claim that he's a Nigerian. They are begging for their lives to pay money so they can be able to live them. They are raping them every day out of their way. And this is where somebody will come and write about one Nigeria. May this happen to him and his family. They are kidnapping men and women. I hope you are seeing, because we are not here to make a story, but we want to give you why that thing called Nigeria is not for any of you who are forcing yourself in to be there. is not for you. This is our grievances, and this is why we left Nigeria and said, no, we are not going to be here. That all these places is not for us. And the world are keeping silent. And in your constitution, you told us about criteria that we have to meet. We have gone back to that criteria again to remind the world this criteria. They asked us that once we met this criteria, that we are a sovereign state, that we are stakeholders. What is going on? This your law, this Montevideo Convention criteria, is it only for the white man is the question. Is it for only Europe? Is it for only Asia? We are asking these questions for us to know, so we will know how we handle ourselves. Because we are not going to allow ourselves to just die like that. We must defend ourselves. And also asking them, your self-determination law, is it for black man? Your self-determination law, is it for a black man or for a white man? That is why we are asking questions, because we want to know how we have committed this offense. That's from 1960 till this day. The solution to end what is going on, and you will remain silent about it. Let's continue.
The entity's independence and sovereignty. It means the state is not subject to the authority of any other state and can conduct its own foreign relations, negotiate treaties, and engage with the international community.
Number 4 on that criteria. Capacity to enter into relations with other states. For you who have followed Biafra, that you are confusing with Ogenkre, CRC, First Days Unite, and all these people that are deceiving you, that you allow yourself to be deceived. Capacity to enter into relation with other states. If you are not a state, you can never enter into a relation with a state, with a countries. That's why when they use that word state. You cannot, you must be a country before you can enter into agreements with another state. This is the legal expression of the entity, independency, and the sovereignty. It means that the state is not a subject of the authority of any other state, and it can conduct its own foreign relations, negotiation, treaties, and engaging with the international community. Who are they talking? Country, state, or nation. Not any group will do this for us. When you see those who are doing notice me, because they buy when you see Ogenkere rushing inviting the man from Austria, the NATO chairman, it doesn't make any sense because when you know what you are doing, why are you in a hurry to invite someone? After our declaration, a well NGO has interviewed our deputy prime minister. True of us? Is it true of us? That is pure truth. So when you see what Ogenkere is doing, rushing that man means never is no people. Somebody who has nothing is the one that makes the most highest noise in the world. And he always claims to be in charge. And it's not by force. When is due time for everything to be happening? When it is due time for organization, you will see it. And like I told you, they are only going to organize a state, a country, not a group of people. No matter the group you are, it's not going to happen. Because act of a declaration is a #1 step to seek international recognition, and also notification to prove to the world that I am a sovereign state. That is what it simply means to declare, to make a declaration that the Biafran people did on November 29, 2024, by declaring Biafra as a country. In this, there are 4 criteria. What are you hearing? Nation, country. That means they use that word, state. That is all you are hearing. Do you hear group of people? Did you ever hear group of people here? The answer is no. No group of people. It must be a state. Said what? It must be what? A state that they are going to do what? Recognized under the international laws and under this Montevideo Convention. They all are working together. This is Geneva Convention, this is Vienna Convention, this is Montevideo Convention, and the UN Charter. All this works together in the favor of a new country that was declared that have effective government, that have a capacity to sign agreements and treaties as a sovereign nation or a sovereign state, or as their sovereignty has been granted after their what, their first what declaration that leads to every other thing that's going to fall in between. My people, we all must know what we're about to do and what we are doing and why it's important to all of us and why the declaration is so important. Don't mind those that are trying to make themselves relevant. After making themselves relevant, when they ask you, bring the document of declaration, what are you going to bring? And the videos are the witness of who make a declaration that the world are going to give recognition. There is a video evidence. What the world are looking for is video. The world believe in evidence of I saw. You know, sometimes they do not believe in written documents. The evidence of you standing and doing something matters most. Then evidence again, when you put it on the document with a signature of you that is there, is the main thing that the world are looking for. So, do not panic if you're a Biafran. Forget this shenanigan of Oge and Kera, what they are doing. What they are doing is in the Bible. That is what Oge is doing with Sana Akra and their group. Carrying pictures, videos to Washington DC. Is it that is all you needed to get a Biafra recognition? When they ask you to bring documents, what are you going to bring? When is due time? My people, we must understand why we are here and why the declaration is so important to all of us. Do not panic. Do not wait for any other thing. Rely and base and believe in the declaration of the United States of Biafra that has the document of the world to present it to the world and make the world to understand that Biafra has been declared. That is what our declaration stands for. There is no other way. So that's why I call on you. Tomorrow is Saturday. Give your funds to the government that make a declaration of a new country for you, that are going to get recognition for you, that are going to submit and prove how we are a country. We continue. Let me remind you one thing. The 4 criteria for you to become a sovereign state. First, that lacks a declaration of a new country. Number 1, a permanent population. There must be a certain community living in that territory. International law prove non-maximum. They did not prove a maximum number before you can become a country. Under the international law, it does not. And the popular and the population may even be nomadic. But it must be stable and attached to their territory. That is what you see Biafran people doing today. There is people living in there, in Biafra land. That is why you see the votes and see the evidence of the vote proving that this is a government that are control. People of that country are listening to their government despite being a new country. And on this, the world knows that after declaration of a new country, there is going to be a land dispute, a land territory dispute or territory problems that we are going to face. And they said that this land dispute or territory problems that we are into, that did not allow us to take over all the territory, is not going to stop the recognition of that new country. There is one thing I want you to take from that particular NATO chairman. He said, let countries recognize Biafra and equip them to protect their border. Our recognition will bring, giving us a very important things that we are going to use to defend all our territory. That is why this declaration is very, 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 very important. And that is where everything ends. The beginning is declaration. The end is recognition. The beginning of any new country is what? Declaration. The end of their sufferness is what? Once they have grabbed the international recognition, everything is over. Those that supported you and give recognition are going to back on it to do what? To equip you to defend your territory. And that time is fast approaching, my people. Yes. You know, their plan B is to destroy the Biafra movement, to stop Biafra as a country, because we are no longer into agitation. Now have declared Officer AJ, we have come to end of the road. So they want to stop the end of the road for them to continue from the same method of DOS, is what we are seeing in all the people that are moving out from this government. I come across of so-called Go 247 who was talking about people attacking, or who does not have a sense that those, where is the ERAT of IPOB? I look at this man and I laugh. Now that you fall in the line of the ERAT who has come to attack the government of Biafra, who has come to attack the declaration that did not put your 1 naira. I never see you Go 247 donating 1 naira since ever he claimed he joined this movement. Go 247. I never had him contributing 1 naira. Only that he's in the media. The 2 Finland he went for, he was being paid for before he come to Finland. Today, them that have declared their declaration, you can see the kind of life they are living. So they are all believing in plan B, that Biafra will never come. They never believe that Ngozi will take them on our way. That is what shocks all of them today. That is why they are not helter skelter. That is why they are misbehaving. So, let no one do what? Deceive you. Be strong on your own. Be strong on your own. We continue.
The role of recognition.
Sorry, I am explaining something. Now, remember this word. A permanent population is number 1 step. A divine territory is number 2. What does it mean? 40 states that made up of Biafra is the territory of United States of Biafra. Number 3, a government, which is Dr. Ngozi Arabeze and the government of the Biafran people. There must be a political authority. There must be a political authority. We go 247 politics that existing that exercising effective control. A political authority that exercising effective control. Ugo 247. Over the defend territory and the population. They are there to defend this population and the territory of the world, United States of Biafra, as a new country that was declared, that are seeking for recognition. It should be capable of maintaining law and orders, providing public service and the governance independently. International law does not prescribe or specific from a specific number of a government, e.g., democracy and words autocracy or democracy and the authority of the new country government. Number 4, capacity to enter into relation. Why have the government? The government is to defend the citizens of the land, to protect the border, and also come and sign agreement with the international global stage. This is what the government is going to do. And that is what the government is doing. These are 4 most important criteria to become a statehood. Now, we are letting the world to know that America, we have met this criteria. UK, we have met this criteria. Russia, we have met this criteria. France, we have met this criteria. China, we have. Then you people should tell Nigeria to leave our territory. You people should let them know that Biafra has been declared, that they should exit from our territory. So they can be on their own peacefully while we are on our own. We can even have exchange of business. But the way they are doing it as if we are not. So if any of you did not believe what we are doing, the time is here for you to believe on it. My people, the Biafran people, do not panic, no matter what you see. Stand on the side of the government. They are doing it right. They are following the template of the international global community. We are not going to be doing the same way we did when we was IPOB, autopilot, bridge, and whatever. No, the game has changed. The politics has upgraded. Now that the politics has upgraded, we have to upgrade ourselves into what we are doing. The rule of recognition. What are those things that are going to lead us to recognition? Listen.
The declaration of a new country is a political and factual act, but its ultimate legal status is viewed through 2 competing international law theories regarding recognition.
Listen. The declaration of a new country, now they have come to the real world. It's no longer a state again. Are you hearing it? The declaration of a new country is a political and factual act, but it is ultimately legal status is viewed through two completing on the international law through regarding recognition. A new declaration, the declaration of a new state is a political and factual act, but it is ultimate legal status. It is what? Ultimate legal what? Status. That leads to what? Recognition. A declaration what? Of a new country. A declaration of a new country. Not any other way around. And you who are fall back, you believe that you are going to make another declaration. That is what used to deceive people. Without declaration officially, nobody recognizes you. Even if you did not make a declaration, you are answering the name of a country, and you seek that to get recognition. A country like Cyprus, a country like Kosovo, a country like other countries in the world that are just newly countries in the world, they are answering a name of a country. They are not answering the name they used to when they were agitating. They come together, make an official declaration about their new country, and maintain set on that mandate to get to what? A recognition. Why do you think that your own is going to be different? That's why I told you here that everything that we are doing must stand on the existing protocol. We will not jump this all protocol to do the other way around, and they will not see us and change, despite how many years they want to delay. But delay is not being denied. It must surely come. Listen. Let us listen.
Theory, principle, role of recognition, prevailing view, declaratory theory. Statehood is purely a matter of meeting the 4 factual criteria above. Recognition by other states is merely an acknowledgement, declaration, of an existing fact. Prevailing view, supported by the Montevideo Convention itself, Constitutive theory.
Let me put one thing to you. Statehood is purely a matter of meeting the four factual criteria above. What are those criteria? I repeat it again. A permanent population, defined territory, government effective, capacity to enter into relation with other countries. These are the four that they are talking about. Now, recognition by other countries is merely an acknowledged declaration of an existing factor. Recognizing by other states is a mere an acknowledgement declaration of an existing what factor, that after our declaration we have become an existing state. Not until we get international recognition. After our declaration, they said recognition by other states is merely an acknowledgement declaration of an existing fact. Something that has been existing is what they are going to recognize, not the other way around. Prevailing the view supported by the Montevideo Convention itself. Supported by what? Montevideo Convention by itself. This is why we are calling on all the countries that will tag their flag and their name on the headline, not for play. Let them to know that Biafra has been declared. We have become an existing state for over getting to 1 year. That is why we are pleading to the world. One, that recognizing Biafra will stop your cry of how Christians are being killed and being kidnapped. Try it and see how it works. He said, when a group of people promise to get some things for you, and make a name of a declaration that we are going to organize them for them to help to assist. We are going to be number one to chase out these invaders in our border, and they will all disappear. Then Biafra recognition will give every indigenous people hope to live and go back to their ancestral land. It is very important. Let's continue on this article. Constitutive theory. An entity does not become a state in international law until its recognition by other states, by other existing states. Do you see why the governments are looking for this diplomatic recognition from the other states? Recognition is necessary as that constitution created the stage legal possibilities. Less forward today, but still infiltrating in its political patience. Our political movement is what? To seek for international what? Recognition. That is what we are doing today. So nobody will stop us from all this. That is our right. That is why the Biafran people must stood up and let the world know that we have met our official declaration. In the mode, listen.
An entity does not become a state in international law until it is recognized by other existing states. Recognition is a necessary act that creates, the state's legal personality, less favored today, but still influential in political practice. In modern practice, the declaratory theory is generally favored. However,
the declaration is generally what? Favored. How? However,
by a significant number of other states, especially major powers and international organizations like the UN, is critical for the new entity to fully exercise its rights, like entering treaties or obtaining sovereign immunities, and function effectively on the global stage. The video below explains the 4 criteria for statehood from the perspective of international law. International law states elements Montevideo Convention simplified. YouTube video views will be stored in your YouTube history, and your data will be stored and used by YouTube according to its terms of service.
So, I hope you are listening very carefully. Our declaration is another way to become a member of the UN, because the declaration gives us power to seek for membership of the UN by submitting our application of our declaration, and then they will give us their own application for us to fill. When you are hearing all these things, you might thought that it's a child's play. This is the real deal that are going to lead us where we are going. When you are listening to all this, then into your mind, what are happening in your mind? Biafra is a sovereign state without recognition. But the recognition, when it is not under the UN, then it becomes like the one when you mention about what? About countries like Kosovo, Northern Cyprus, that are not a member of the declaration, not member of the UN. So remember, this international recognition is what stops Biafra, that makes Biafra becomes a failure in 1967 to 1970. That is where Ojukwu fell. Because of what? Not that he fell. Britain was busy lobbying the world to not recognize Biafra as a country because of this particular interest of oil today. That is why that happened to us. Britain is single-handedly blocked Biafra recognition. So as we are playing this again, we are calling on all of you to know, to tell Nigeria to leave our what? Our country called University of Biafra. Let them leave our border.
The criteria for statehood under international law are widely accepted to be the four elements outlined in the Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, 1933. These criteria are considered the minimum requirements for an entity to be recognized as a state and a subject of international law, regardless of whether it has been newly declared or long established. The four Montevideo criteria. For an entity to qualify as a state, it must possess the following qualifications. 1. A permanent population. There must be a settled community living in the territory. International law imposes no minimum number, and the population may even be nomadic, but it must be stable and attached to the territory. 2. A defined territory. The entity must have control over a specific geographic area. The borders do not need to be precisely delimited or undisputed, it only needs a consistent and identifiable core territory. 3. A government. There must be a political authority that exercises effective control over the defined territory and population. It should be capable of maintaining law and order, providing public services, and governing independently. International law does not prescribe a specific form of government, e.g., democratic, authoritarian. 4. Capacity to enter into relations with other states. This is the legal expression of the entity's independence and sovereignty. It means the state is not subject to the authority of any other state, and can conduct its own foreign relations, negotiate treaties, and engage with the international community. The role of recognition. The declaration of a new country is a political and factual act, but its ultimate legal status is viewed through two competing international law theories regarding recognition. Theory, principle, role of recognition, prevailing view, declaratory theory. Statehood is purely a matter of meeting the four factual criteria above. Recognition by other states is merely an acknowledgement, declaration, of an existing fact. Prevailing view, supported by the Montevideo Convention itself. Constitutive theory. An entity does not become a state in international law until it is recognized by other existing states. Recognition is a necessary act that creates, the state's legal personality, less favored today, but still influential in political practice. In modern practice, the declaratory theory is generally favored. However, recognition by a significant number of other states, especially major powers and international organizations like the UN, is critical for the new entity to fully exercise its rights, like entering treaties or obtaining sovereign immunities, and function effectively on the global stage. The video below explains the four criteria for statehood from the perspective of international law. International law states elements Montevideo Convention simplified. YouTube video views will be stored in your YouTube history, and your data will be stored and used by YouTube according to its terms of service.
Yes, I say we are going to belong, my people. Thanks so much for being here. We are going to end the program here, please, because of our time. I appreciate you for being here. Please, from me, from here, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.